कंटेंट के साथ साथ टेम्पलेट होना बहुत जरूरी है.
This is the actual time, ma'am.
Maybe 75 students will be writing. So you need a better line.
No one likes to gamble with prelims, right?
Correct.
It is the
Yes.
largest elimination exercise of UPSC.
You know, I am very clear about short notes से start करने से you are going to struggle with 20 markers.
Question छूट भी जाता है. For example, thinking about the worst case scenario, 10 मार्कर छूटे, 20 मार्कर नहीं छूटना चाहिए, right?
Student feels कि नहीं मुझे तो वो quotes डालने हैं, तो बस वो डाल देते हैं.
What to do with that knowledge and how to process that knowledge into answers.
So with my foundation students also, my only concern is that they should have an understanding.
Reading about some theory in 2A, then why not use that in 2B?
हेलो एंड नमस्ते, मेरा नाम है डॉक्टर दीपा नेता और आपका स्वागत है श्रीराम्स आईएएस के यूट्यूब चैनल पे. आज हम बात करने वाले हैं पीएसआईआर ऑप्शनल को लेके. बट देखा जाए, आप में से ऐसे कई बच्चे होंगे जो कि अभी बस एक महीना बाकी है 2025 का मेंस लिखने के लिए. आप में से कई ऐसे भी होंगे जो 2026 के लिए सोच रहे होंगे कि पीएसआईआर ले कि ना ले, कैसे स्टार्ट करें, कैसे उसको अप्रोच करें. तो आज इस पॉडकास्ट में मैं और मेरे साथ इंद्रनील जो मेंटर हैं पीएसआईआर के, बात करने वाले हैं कि किस तरीके से, चाहे आप 2025 मेंस लिख रहे हैं या 2026 मेंस के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, उसमें जो जेनरिक क्वेश्चंस हैं उनको हम एड्रेस करने वाले हैं. तो सबसे पहले जो हम बात करेंगे वो है 2025 बच्चों के लिए, जो कि बस एक महीना बाकी है. अभी तक तो आई एम अज्यूमिंग कंटेंट हो गया होगा, सो समवॉट टेम्पलेट्स तो हो गए होंगे. अब बाकी है आंसर राइटिंग का. मेरे हिसाब से एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, जहाँ पे आपके पास अभी एक महीना बाकी है, फुल लेंथ टेस्ट इज द वे अहेड. इंद्रनील, व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन?
Ma'am, first of all, thank you for welcoming me in this show. The thing is that अभी जो हम लोगों का full length test देना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है because UPSC में as we know we get alternative sets, right? So unless we give full length test, if we are stuck with sectional test, तब हमें वो alternative choose करने में हॉल में बहुत difficulty आ सकता है.
करेक्ट.
Unless we are very much prudent and practical to complete one set altogether, कि मुझे 20 मार्कर भी आता है, साथ में 15 भी साथ में आता है, राइट? क्योंकि कोई एक क्वेश्चन मिस हो गया, दैट विल कॉज अ लॉट ऑफ डैमेज, राइट? सो अगर वो कंप्लीट सेट का ऑल्टरनेटिव, अच्छा मैं ना सोचिए फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम थिंकिंग कि मैं शॉर्ट नोट तो दोनों मैंडेटरी कर रहा हूँ, एक एक सेट कर रहा हूँ. द थर्ड सेट इज द गेम चेंजर, 50 मार्क्स, राइट? अगर मेरा 1A स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट है, बट 1A का जो सोचिए कि कॉन्ट्रास्ट दे दिया रॉल्स के साथ एंशिएंट ग्रीक जस्टिस का, that year it was quite difficult for the people to do it hall mein baith ke, right? So then people might have to shift to 1B, right? So we have to be very much prudent and plan it accordingly, and उस प्लानिंग प्रोसेस में फुल लेंथ टेस्ट का बहुत ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन है.
नहीं, यहाँ पे फुल लेंथ टेस्ट का इसीलिए भी ज़रूरत आ जाता है अभी जब एक महीना टाइम है, क्योंकि मैं हमेशा ये कहती हूँ कि जब आप स्टार्ट कर रहे हो तो आप कंटेंट पे फोकस करो. बट अभी अगर आप सिर्फ कंटेंट देखोगे और टाइम मैनेजमेंट नहीं देखोगे तो आपका पेपर खत्म नहीं होने वाला है. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज अ डिजास्टर दैट मेनी स्टूडेंट्स फेस, कि वो स्टार्ट करते हैं ऐसे क्वेश्चन से जो उनको पता है, राइट? एंड दे वांट टू राइट अ लॉट. व्हेन दे स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट, टाइम मैनेजमेंट होता नहीं है एंड क्वेश्चन्स मिस आउट होने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है. बट देन इंद्रनील, आई वांट टू ऑल्सो कम टू द चेंजिंग पैटर्न्स. पैटर्न अगर देखा जाए लास्ट 2-3 साल में एक पॉलिटिकल साइंस के कंसेप्चुअल क्वेश्चंस पूछे जा रहे हैं, चाहे वो पॉलिटिकल साइंस का नुआंस हो या आपने से कहा कि जस्टिस के ऊपर हो. ये जो इंटरलिंकेजेस हैं, हाउ वुड यू अप्रोच इट? एंड लेट मी कम हियर विथ व्हाट आई हैव बीन फोकसिंग ऑन इन द क्लास, इज दैट आई हैव बीन टेलिंग देम टू ब्रेनस्टॉर्म, कि भाई हर कंसेप्ट के ऊपर ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग शुरू कर दो, कि भाई कैसे कहाँ से लिंक कर सकते हो, कैसे आइडियल किंग, फिलोसोफर किंग ऑफ प्लेटो के साथ व्हाट कैन यू कंपेयर हॉब्स का एब्सोल्यूट सॉवरेन और कौटिल्याज चक्रवर्ती सम्राट. तो ये जो चीज़ें हैं, ये ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग पहले से करनी चाहिए, बट लास्ट एक महीने में भी करोगे तो इट विल बी बेनिफिशियल. व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन ऑन दिस?
Ma'am, actually, along with writing full length answers, that is a skill, right? Writing answer is a skill. That skill will take some time to develop. So according to popular beliefs, it takes you around 21 days to develop new habit, right?
Right.
So all the students, you guys are still in a pretty good margin. You guys have a margin to develop that 21 days. So you practice writing answers, try to complete in time, यू प्रेफर, आप देखो कि आप 20 मार्कर पहले करने पे आपका कंप्लीशन रेट ज़्यादा है, परफॉर्मेंस बेटर आ रहा है, या पहले यू शुड डू द 15 मार्कर्स, और शुड यू स्टार्ट विद द शॉर्ट नोट्स?
No. Short notes, Baba, no. That's something I'm very, I'm very clear about. Short notes से start करने से you are going to struggle with 20 markers.
Yes, because at the end of the day, अगर एक क्वेश्चन छूट भी जाता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल थिंकिंग अबाउट द वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो, 10 मार्कर छूटे, 20 मार्कर नहीं छूटना चाहिए, राइट? सो दैट इज हाउ ये प्लानिंग, हाउ टू अप्रोच द पेपर ऑन द D-Day. This is the time, at the optimum time, when the mains appearing students should figure that out, right? Because you guys must believe in yourself that you have been reading this optional for quite some time now. You have enough content in yourself. अब उसको एक्सप्रेस करना है, आर्टिकुलेट करना है पेपर में, अब वो थोड़ा सा मेंटली प्रिपरेशन चाहिए.
नहीं तो उसके लिए जैसे कि मैंने कहा कि कंटेंट के साथ साथ टेम्पलेट होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. एंड ये जो टेम्पलेट है वो बेसिकली आपका जो मतलब आपने टॉपिक देखा, क्वेश्चन पढ़ा, उसमें जो कीवर्ड्स हैं जिसे हम डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन कहते हैं, उसके साथ साथ एक कोई भी इंट्रोडक्टरी स्टेटमेंट, चाहे वो स्कॉलर हो या खुद का कोई स्टेटमेंट हो, वो आपको आना चाहिए. बिकॉज यू शुड नॉट वेस्ट टाइम थिंकिंग कि यार इस टॉपिक के लिए मुझे क्या लिखना चाहिए. बिकॉज इट इज़ वेरी इजी टू से एरिस्टोटल इज द फादर ऑफ पॉलिटिकल साइंस, बट प्लीज रिमेंबर यही सेम सेंटेंस मे बी 75 स्टूडेंट्स विल बी राइटिंग. सो यू नीड अ बेटर लाइन. एंड ये फादर मदर वाला तो आई थिंक यू शुड जस्ट इग्नोर, right? And start thinking about something better to start with. It's high time you guys do that. Okay, now let me come down to one more important thing. Is should we make a structure of the question when we read it in the, should we just start writing? Because there is something that, हमारे दिमाग में वो वायर हो जाता है कि भाई टाइम बहुत कम है हमारे पास, तो हम लोग ना बिना सोच के लिखना शुरू करते हैं. देन बीच रास्ते में जाके हम सोचते हैं अरे ये पॉइंट तो नहीं आ रहा है.
पूछा क्या था क्वेश्चन,
पूछा क्या था, हम पेज पर वी गो बैक टू दैट. So what is your opinion that should you make a structure? Because of course from my faculty's point of view I'll always say कि make a structure, but students will like structure कैसे बनाएंगे, time कहाँ पे है? What's your opinion?
I would like to propose one exercise to the people appearing for mains this year कि आंसर राइटिंग जो हो रहा है, ठीक है, FLT आप दे रहे हो, फुल लेंथ टेस्ट आप दो वो, बट डेली कुछ क्वेश्चन्स उठाओ, प्रेफरेबली PYQs, एंड थिंक कि अगर मुझे इसमें लिखना होता तो मैं कैसे लिखता. जस्ट गिव दैट, ब्रेनस्टॉर्म दैट, उसको एक थोड़ा सा सोच देना चाहिए ताकि आपका दिमाग में एक न्यूरल लिंक बन जाए कि अच्छा इसको मैं ऐसे सोच सकता हूँ, इसके साथ मैं ये कनेक्ट कर सकता हूँ, एंड इट विल बी ओनली इन योर माइंड. यू डोंट नीड टू राइट दैट डाउन. फॉर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस यू आर डूइंग इट टाइम टू राइटिंग टेस्ट, फुल एंड टेस्ट. ये एक एक्सरसाइज है कि सुबह को आधे घंटा 1 घंटा PSIR के लिए. आई ऑल्सो सजेस्ट कि दिस इज अ गुड एक्सरसाइज फॉर अक्रॉस ऑल दी पेपर्स, GS पेपर्स ऑल्सो. सो वो एक न्यूरल लिंक बनने में हेल्प करता है कि अच्छा मैं अगर सपोज देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन ऑन हॉब्स, शुड आई स्टार्ट विद हॉब्स और शुड आई जस्ट गो टू दी, अच्छा फाइन एब्सोल्यूट सॉवरेन से स्टार्ट करूं, राइट? देयर कैन बी अदर कीवर्ड्स इन द क्वेश्चंस ऑल्सो. सो आई नीड टू थिंक कि अच्छा हाउ मेनी वेज आई कैन प्ले विद दिस क्वेश्चन, प्ले विद द आंसर्स, राइट? सो वैसे एक सोचते सोचते ना आपका एक न्यूरल नेटवर्क बन जाता है दिमाग में आंसर राइटिंग का. एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सेइंग आर्टिकुलेशन स्किल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज UPSC इफ वी थिंक इज अ two-way, there are two pillars, right? One is content and another thing is articulation, and where they are overlapping वहाँ पे the toppers lie, right?
Absolutely, because it's not in a game of what you know, it's what you write.
Yes. And you may be knowing much lesser than other people, but if you are producing that very well in the answer script, then it will fetch you more marks.
And यहीं पे underlining keywords is a must. Please don't forget to do that. You really need to underline the keywords. You really need to focus on the flow of the answer. इसमें ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप मतलब you have to put a lot of scholars and lot of data. नहीं ज़रूरी है. You don't have to do that. But if you can, good. But focus more on again the concepts, underline them, and a flow of the concepts.
And ma'am, another thing that I'd like to add, many students, I have been reading many copies lately for mains, right? So when evaluating those copies, I see people are using scholars in a very abstract way. They are like, जो पिज्जा के ऊपर टॉपिंग होता है ना, आंसर अलग है, बीच बीच में स्कॉलर्स टॉपिंग की तरह डाले हुए हैं, राइट? इट इज नॉट ऑर्गेनिकली सेटिंग इन द आंसर, राइट? तो दैट डजंट मेक एनी सेंस. you can use scholars to validate your arguments or start a new paradigm in your answer. When you are starting a new point, you can use a scholar. Acha, so and so notes this attribute about this concept. So that is how we can use scholars. Or you say, this is an attribute as noted by this scholar. Right.
Now, the problem here then, Indranil, is that what happens is most students have scholar जो quotes हैं उनके पास वो बहुत generic होते हैं. Right? They have very generic, maybe by Laslet they have Leo Strauss, they have something by these scholars, and they are not suitable for point or a specific concept. So what happens is the student feels कि नहीं मुझे तो वो quotes डालने हैं तो बस वो डाल देते हैं बिना understanding that वो नहीं flow करेगा. वो you are adding it with good intentions but doesn't add to the value. Now that is where if you are really using quotes, either start with one or end with one. बीच में डालने की कोशिश मत करो unless you have something very specific to that topic, wherein you're changing it, right? So that is very important. When we start with Plato, Karl Popper is very important, right? And now Karl Popper has basically criticized, agreed. But you cannot start with Karl Popper everywhere. You cannot start with Plato's criticism every time there's a question on Plato. Criticism is always something that you add to the end or the conclusion. So यही कुछ चीजें हैं जो आपको ध्यान रखना है when you're writing an answer. Okay, so for the 2025 students, last thing that we have to talk about is what topics to focus on. So of course we're going to come up with a more detailed video on that, but right now, 1 month to go, what should be the focus areas? Now, from my perspective, most of you would be done with your 1A and 2A. वो theory तो ऐसा होता है कि एकदम it's something everybody loves to mug up and it should be done. Problem आएगा dynamic area में, right? अब dynamic area में let me start with 2B, and of course Indranil feel free to add. I would say that India's neighborhood policy changing is important. Israel would be important. Apart from that, I think decoupling of Europe with US is important. Global South ka concept, crisis of multilateralism, things like these are going to be the flavor.
Another point that I would like to add, the rise of EU again.
Rise of EU, okay. The supranational coming back.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
The supranational is also falling, but then again, Europe has been dormant in the post-Cold War. And during the Cold War, Europe has been dormant in the global affairs, right? But after the decoupling, Europe is actively participating in global affairs more and more. Like France, Germany, they are showing up.
Correct. Defense budget has gone up. Of these countries. Defense spending is because of that. Okay, apart from that, I would also look at nuclear being an important level.
It is.
Right? In the entire Operation Sindoor and then Iran, the nuclear will be a major. What about Cold War? What do you think?
Going by the developments of the last 1 decade, Cold War has been an underlying current, Cold War 2.0, which can come anytime. Okay. Another thing is that nuclear deterrence theory in 2A was asked in 2019 because Balakot strike happened.
Yes.
Right. So this year also Operation Sindoor happened. So maybe not in 2A. In 2B they can ask.
No, I think there's a definite, and I think Indus Water Treaty can also be asked. Hydropolitics in South Asia.
Hydropolitics.
Yeah, because again that could be asked in 2A also.
The works of Brahmachalani will be very important this year.
Brahmachalani is the name to remember, right? Apart from that, I would also look at the race for global commons. The Arctic is, the race is getting pretty hot. Trade war. I'm going to look at the economic institutions being asked.
WTO.
Yes, WTO, the failure of it actually to resolve the trade disputes and all of that. So from the dynamic portion pertaining to paper 2, our understanding is that these topics are important. Let's come down to 1B. Where do you see 1B dynamic questions?
Ma'am, federalism.
Done.
Right. The delimitation commission debate.
Caste census.
Caste census.
Yes.
So these topics are important.
I would even say that, the last 10 Supreme Court judgments, which has focused on Article 19, would be important.
Yes. At the same point of time, we must note that when doing these current topics, we must amalgamate them with the static.
Correct. You
Right.
cannot.
We cannot do it in isolation, because I am pretty sure the way of structuring questions will be like that the student will have to write, okay, fine, how caste has played its role in Indian politics? What will be the ramifications of caste census on Indian political parties? So they are going to amalgamate with attached, not caste census won't be in isolation. They will attach that to Indian party system.
Correct.
In 1B. So there will be that tendency. So whenever people writing mains this year, I would suggest that whenever you are reading any current affairs, try to place that where in the syllabus I can connect it with. And try to connect with the static portion as well, so that your answers are holistic.
That is there, that you have to build it on a foundation and then build on the
Yes.
dynamic portion. With the caste census, I think UCC is also important because it was there in the news because of the elections. Okay, coming down to the next segment, which is going to be targeting the 2026 aspirants who are planning to write the mains in 2026. Now, this is the time that either you are doing and focusing on the concepts, but along with the concepts, you should start writing at least some answers. But that's, again, it's early, but I think this is the time to do it.
This is the actual time, ma'am. Because after December, anyways, the aspirants will focus towards prelims. No one likes to gamble with prelims, right?
Correct.
It is the
Yes.
largest elimination exercise of UPSC. So you have got till December. You have to consolidate your PSIR preparation, do answer writing, develop both your content as well as your articulation skills.
The writing is...
This is the time you should write answers, experiment with your articulation skills. Okay, what am I good at? Should I follow a template or should I more think about interlinkages? Right. Yesterday only I was checking copy of a student targeting 2026. His copy he was writing very well. But the problem was that, in Locke's question, he has written more about Hobbes than actual Locke. Right. So these all things they need to notice now.
Some kind of, these small mistakes that you're going to make, it's better to get it rectified right now. Rather than wait for the 90 days between prelims and...
Because those 90 days will come after a long gap of 6 months.
Yes.
So you need
उस समय पे
रिवीजन करना. तो ये जो हम लोगों का ये फिटनेस होता है आंसर राइटिंग का, दैट नीड्स टू बी कल्टिवेटेड नाउ, राइट. एक बार एक्सटेंसिव प्रैक्टिस हो जाए, फिर यू कैन रीजिग इट,
kind of revise and you can kind of refocus on it.
Yes, you can do that. But वो basic skill building वाला, that phase is now. Okay, you need to build your skills.
So, Indranil, my point then is that when you talk about building skills, so with my foundation students also, my only concern is that they should have an understanding. Because if you are not able to understand and you are just thinking that, you have your notes ready and that's all going to be, that's what you need and you're going to start writing, it's going to be difficult. Because interlinkages will not happen otherwise.
Yes.
तो पहले तो concepts को clear करना है, एकदम मतलब जो basic concepts है ना, उसको क्लियर करना है. व्हाट इज अथॉरिटेरियनिज्म, टोटलिटेरियनिज्म, जो कंसेप्ट्स क्वेश्चन में दे देते हैं ऐसे ही एंड यू टू राइट, उसको एक बार समझना पड़ेगा. उसके यू हैव टू गेट द नुआंसेस करेक्ट एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स आंसर राइटिंग, व्हिच इज something that we are in agreement with. But first is concepts.
Because unless your concepts are clear, then how will you articulate?
Correct.
You need your concepts first to articulate, right?
So the other problem that most 2026 students are going to face is resources. What is your suggestion for that? Because everyone feels that they have very limited resources. They want more and more. I think it's a problem cut across. The more I tell them नहीं चाहिए, मत करो ज़्यादा क्योंकि फायदा नहीं है, they still believe that no, I need more resources. And I want to understand, does it help or not?
See, ma'am, when I was reading about equality long back, so I came across a scholar, Harry Frankfurt. He gives a very good understanding. He gives a concept of doctrine of sufficiency. Right? We cannot achieve equality. That is an utopian concept. So we should ensure that even the last man standing should have sufficient. Right?
So sufficient is already there in one set of notes.
Exactly. That is how we can use that scholar in PSIR preparation as well.
Correct.
Right? Because if you have enough content to write 4 pages of your answer, you need to give relevance of your concept. right? You need to give criticisms of the concept. So you need actually enough content to write 4 pages, because that's the maximum you're going to write. It's not a university paper that we need to write 10 pages or 12 pages.
Absolutely, agreed. And that is something I think most students should understand, that ये जो, you know, the way we are running behind mind maps and more notes and books and everything doesn't help. You are not preparing for academics. Trust me, I am an academician. I know it. You are not preparing. You're preparing for an examination which has a well-defined syllabus, B, good set of PYQs. And PYQs are the guiding light. So based on the PYQs, if you have enough content, you are good to go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is no end to it. You know, if you want to start reading Nozick and Dworkin and everything, there is no end to scholars and arguments. So my suggestion out here is to keep it simple as possible, and focus, revise it multiple times so that you know what is there in every para in your notes.
Yes.
But I think it's very important.
The weightage should be more on clarity rather than volume of content.
हाँ, वो नहीं आता है. I have seen people like to go and buy bunch of notes, and then it is just lying on the table. It's a wastage of money. Better to go and eat something healthy with that money. And that's what I feel. When go eat something healthy, it's going to matter.
And it adds noise to your preparation a lot.
Absolutely.
And with that noise, you cannot actually focus on what is needed in writing the answer. You are lost here and there. The actual content is lost. So when you are finally writing the answer, you are talking about everything else rather than what the question is demanding.
True. Achha, coming to current affairs, should we start looking at current affairs right now, or should we wait for the current affairs? Because again, that's a major concern students have. Now, because they have time, they will read the newspaper and they will read a lot of journals, and they'll read ORF and IDSA, and they'll come and tell me, ma'am, IDSA में ना ये argument दिया हुआ है. But my question then is, अभी तो पढ़ लोगे, बाद में क्या करोगे? So, what again would be your way approaching to this? I am very clear, इसको नहीं करना है.
Ma'am, I would like to differ with you. What I believe is that कि articles अच्छे लोगों का पढ़ने से you develop a skill, language skills.
Correct. Okay.
Up language, ठीक है. International relations has got its own language or way of writing, right? We do not write USA is a very strong country. We write USA is a global hegemon. So वो wordings जो terms है एक discipline का, वो pick up करने के लिए थोड़ा articles का साथ touch होना चाहिए.
But you don't have time. Let's say post Diwali, where would you have time to do it?
Ma'am, it's like that is why in our Telegram group, what we do, we give assorted articles.
Correct.
Because we idealize that the student do not have time to do all this, right?
That is a good way. You know, you have a collection of articles and you read that.
Read that. So that is how they should come up with some solution where they can get some assorted articles, at least 2-3 articles per week. For leisure read.
Correct.
For leisure read. It's for leisure read.
Leisure, my God, the time is not going to be there post Diwali, because post Diwali you will be in a place where you're going to be, you know, multiple classes, multiple pressure points are going to emerge. But it is important that you have a good selection, an assorted collection of articles. But most important is somebody who knows the subject, somebody who understands the pattern of the examination. They are the ones to give you those particular articles. It's not random, because if it is random, there are about 50 odd think tanks across India, and everyone publishes articles after articles. That is what they are into. And if you start looking at that, you are going to be in a deep soup. So it's better that somebody who's informed, somebody who's aware, they are the ones to give you that assorted collection of articles. Now, this is where I'm going to come to the last question. So, you know, there are 2 parts. So, for example, faculty or the classes that I'm taking care of is where I build on the concepts, the interlinkages, addressing the PYQs and everything. What does a mentor do? That is where I think most students would be confused. How does a mentor help in preparing optional?
See, ma'am, the classes, the student is getting classes, getting notes and everything. They're understanding a concept. But what we have seen a general pattern is that after 1 week a class is over, they are usually lost. What to do with that knowledge and how to process that knowledge into answers, right? That's where I come in as a mentor. I tell them how to revise topics, how to interlink topics. I conduct my workshops also, answer writing workshops, where we are trying to build, remove the silos in the syllabus, right? If I am reading about some theory in 2A, then why not use that in 2B?
Correct.
Right? Because when a faculty is teaching a concept, it is very difficult to explore all the thing together. So when they have read multiple things, okay, they have read about fascism, they have read about Marxism, they have read about liberalism, all the isms and ideologies they have read, and when they come, okay, fine, sir, now I am unable to interlink the topics. Then, okay, fine, we develop that through answer writing. I provide also current affairs, assorted articles, brainstorming part. And also what we do here is that we do on-spot evaluation.
Yes.
Right. So that's a game changer, because a lot many times, you know, while reading the comments, there is often written as a fair intro. Or intro could be better. How?
That's one problem I faced across evaluation. Meant that I don't know why people don't give good comments. It doesn't help the students unless you tell them what exactly to write.
What I'm looking for.
Exactly. I agree.
So that is why we provide on-spot evaluation. So when you come with your copies, we check them in front of you and keep on telling you, Acha, this could have been written better this way. So that is how we are able to see empirical proof that their answer writing skills have evolved over time, over a span of 1 month, 2 months, they have evolved.
Right. I think that is where the role of mentorship applies in optional. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about, again, concepts and all of that. वो तो है ही, class में होगा, आपके पास किताबें हैं. If you are, best source is IGNOU. Apart from that, when you start writing, you really need someone to tell you where you are going amiss, what you can add to enrich that answer. And most important, and that's something that most students kind of skip also, is when you write answers, it has to be with a structure and flow. If you're not giving that structure, if you're just haphazardly putting the arguments, it's not going to work out. There has to be, for example, social contract cannot happen without a state of nature. What is the human nature in the state of nature? What is the reason behind the social contract? And then the justification of a state. There has to be that flow. And when the evaluator is also checking, that flow has to be there. Unless you get that flow right, it's going to be difficult to score. And that score is always that 1 or 2 marks extra across questions. That is what makes that, the difference, the rank. Chalo, iske saath, let me wrap up today. If you have any questions and if you want us to cover any particular topic, please let us know in the comments. We are going to continue with the series and we'll address your questions as and when they are there in the comments. With this, take care. Bye. I'll see you in the next one.